Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be taking a look at some of my favourite apps for cinematography and filmmaking.
I am an iPhone user, and so these recommendations will be iOS based. These are also in no particular order. First up, we have Sunseeker. Now, as the name suggests, this app helps you to see where the sun will be positioned on any given day at a particular time. You can do this for your current location, but the best part is, you can also use this to see where the sun will be anywhere else in the world. It has a live 3D view and a 2D map view. I quite like to use the map view during pre-production to get a general idea of where the sun will be, and then while location scouting, I like to use the 3D view on set to see if the sun will be coming through certain windows or hidden behind obstacles, for example. Next up, we have Cadrage. I've actually done a full review of Cadrage before on the channel, and you can watch that here if you'd like. Cadrage is still my go-to director's viewfinder app. It allows you to quickly visualize what a location will look like with a variety of different cameras and lenses. They are always updating this list, and so if you're shooting with a newer camera like the Sony FX6 or A7S III for example, you will most likely find it there. It's the perfect tool to have with you on a location scout. It's also really handy to use on set when you want to switch and find a new position without actually having to move your camera. The F8 Lens Toolkit. Following on from Cadrage, we have the F8 Lens Toolkit. This is the perfect companion for Cadrage. I've actually done another full review on this app as well, and if you want to see that, I'll put a link for it. The F8 Lens Toolkit is designed to be your go-to app for all your photographic calculations. It features tools such as a depth of field calculator, field of view, lens matcher, sensor comparison, and lens coverage guide. It's a fantastic tool if you want to see how different cameras will compare in a multi-camera shoot, for example, or how the lenses you currently own will work on a different camera system. Google Maps and Street View. This may sound basic and obvious, but Google Maps and Street View are still some of the most powerful tools you can find when it comes to pre-production. Having the ability to visually see how a location will look from ground level or estimate how long it will take to travel to set. Simple things like this are invaluable. The best thing, of course, is that they are both free. I've talked before how I like to use them in conjunction with other apps such as Sunseeker, and you can watch the video on location scouting here. CytusLink and NanLink, apps for controlling your lighting. So these apps will be different for whatever system you're using. Personally, I own both aperture and nan light fixtures, and so I of course have these apps on my phone. This may seem like another obvious one to have on the list, but I thought it was worth mentioning. I'd suggest, even if you don't own any particular brands, it's useful to have these apps on your phone already, in case you're hired for a job that may need them. Not all lights have the ability to be controlled via an app, and some people don't like using apps at all, but for someone like me, who is a solo filmmaker the majority of the time, being able to position my fixtures and control them remotely through my phone is such a time saver. Some of these apps, such as CytusLink, also have other useful features, such as a diagram planner and a light meter, Ronin, or other gimbal apps. Following on from the lighting apps, chances are you may need to use a gimbal at some point, and so having the related apps is always useful to have. I use the RS2, and so I have the Ronin app. Not only are these tools useful for calibrating your gimbals, they also have other handy features such as remote controlling, time-lapse, motion control for repeating movements, as well as other useful features. Arri Photometrics and Red Tools. Some apps you probably won't use a lot, but may be incredibly useful in certain circumstances. I think these next few apps fall into that category. I'm going to run through these quite quickly, but hopefully it will give you a rough idea of what these free apps do. The Arri Photometrics app gives you detailed rundowns of all their fixtures. It also gives you details if you're running them via DMX and that sort of thing. The Red Tools app hasn't been updated in some time, but it still has some handy features if you're going to be working with Red camera systems. This includes things like working out panning speed, flicker free rates, crop factor, and recording time. In certain situations, you may find these next free apps really useful. Chromascreen is ideal if you need to do a phone replacement. You can switch between green or blue, and it does offer some premium features as well. There is also Focus Chart, which as the name suggests is a focus chart. This one may come in handy in a pinch if you don't happen to have a physical one lying around. DataCalc gives you a rough estimate of how much storage space you will need when using various codecs and devices. This can be useful when budgeting for bigger projects, when you know you will need a lot of additional storage. If you're going to be using your actual phone for filming, I'd highly recommend using FiLMiC Pro. From my experience, this is by far the best tool for the job when it comes to mobile filming. Not only does it give you full manual camera controls, but you also have professional monitoring tools such as false color. I don't do a lot of shooting on my phone, but if you do, you may be interested in purchasing the full version of the app to unlock several other features, including the ability to shoot in log. They also have a unique companion app called Double Take, which allows you to use the various lenses that iPhones come with these days and record with multiple angles at the same time. This could be a great tool if you're filming interviews or shooting any sort of conversation between two people. The last app I want to mention is Diffusion. Now, even if you don't use Lee filters specifically, this is a useful reference tool that gives you real examples of how various filters will affect your image. It includes everything from grid cloth to various forms of frost. This is obviously only useful as a rough guide, and it's always best to do your own tests with the actual materials you're going to be using. But as a quick guide, this is really handy to have on your phone.
I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any recommendations for apps that you like to use, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos on cinematography and filmmaking in general, you can subscribe here or carry on watching one of these videos. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.